Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wednesday Night Racing here on Slow Motion Broadcasting. Tonight, we are featuring Sim Racers Group Intermediate League, the Euro Series. This will be the fifth race of the season, and we're coming from a real quirky track of Thruxton Circuit. It's a motor circuit located just out of Hampshire, New England, in the United Kingdom. This 2.3-mile circuit is a very interesting track and should lead to some great racing here with the F4s. I am Mike Braun, joining me for the first time this season. I would at this time like to thank Ron for filling in for me for a couple weeks. I do appreciate that. But joining me in the production booth and also in commentary tonight is Adam Thompson, the one and only world famous.
Oh, you know
Adam, Adam, tonight is a real quirky track. We were kind of talking about it earlier, and this is going to be some interesting racing here with these F4s.
Oh, it absolutely is, Mike. I am super excited to see what happens, especially here at Thruxton. I mean, it is going to be, you want to talk about a draft-heavy track. That's this one. There's really only two corners that you got to worry about here to brake on. So it's going to be fun to see what exactly happens here, especially in a very draft-dependent card. Slipstream is very important in these F4s, Mike, but we got some points to get to.
Absolutely, and we're going to jump right to the points here. We have three different divisions here in the SRG. This is Inter 1. This is kind of our intermediate beginner class. We've got Josh Corwin leading the points with 46 points. Only 1 point behind him is Alec Velasco, and 4 points behind your leader is Varun Bali in that third spot. Denise Paborgi in the fourth spot with 41 points, and Kalen Mekrowitz rounding out your top five in the Inter class with 39 points. Then we'll jump into the Inter 2 class. Chris Wang with 78 points, pulling away from Jose Navas with 59. So he's got a good lead going on right now. Rafael Cardenas in the third spot with 38 points. So we got a big gap between those top three. But then we get a little tighter in that fourth spot with Aaron Van Wagner and Tyler Hagen with 27 points. A real close battle. And then we got our inter-alien class. So the only one entry in that class, Stephen Case. He has been out in front and just showing his way, but he did have some difficulties last week. So I don't know if he had some hardware issues last week or what, but we'll have to see if he can overcome those this week and get going. So, Adam, we are just starting our qualifying right now. It's what, 15 minutes open qualifying for these boys, right?
It is, yeah. 15 minutes open quali there on the top left-hand side of your screen. You can see that, and we'll try to find a driver that is going to be crossing the start-finish line here sometime soon. And we will go on. You know what? Just because I like the number, and because I mean, there's no real reason why I like Diego's number at all. I don't why yeah, there's no reason, right, Mike? But anyways, why don't we go on board with him for this lap around Thruxton?
This could be the commentator's curse because every time we have done something like this, it always fails, Adam.
It really does, but you know what? We're going to try it anyway. So here we go, going into turn one, Allard. And you can see he's already flat out here. He's going to be flat out all the way up into Campbell. This is the one of two braking sections here on this track. Braking at about the 75-meter board, getting it right, then turning back left, and then you are full throttle again. Really caught a lot of that curb there, and he is gone through Seagrave. Now he's going to be coming up to Noble here. This seems like it takes forever. You can take a drink. You know, you can take a nap, whatever you want to do. Then you're going to get into Goodwood. Also full throttle here. Look at him just on the throttle. Extremely draft heavy around here. Now through Village right about now. And then into Church. By the way, Mike, he's still full throttle. He hasn't lifted yet. And he's not going to for quite a while. He's now coming down the straightaway of Brooklands is what they call it. It's, I guess, they don't have any corners, so they're just going to start naming straightaways. But he is going to get into Club right about now. The second breaking point on this track. The second and the final breaking point. But that is a tough chicane, and that will finish your very, very quick lap here around Thruxton, Mike.
Yeah, no, that was a good lap, and good thing we did not give him that commentator's curse. Sada able to come in there with a 1:11.8. Put him in the 10th spot right now. So good lap for him. Top half of the field. Right now out in front, we've got Kalen Mikowitz in the 888 car. Yep. Coming around right now, leading the way. Coming into that last section, you see these cars a little on the loose side. That's how you really get these things fast is letting that back end hang out just a little bit coming around. And still able to hang on to that second spot. Looks like he had a rough lap that time by, but taking over the top spot is our resident alien, car 243, Stephen Case.
Well, we can see that, but Joshua Corwin just said a purple third sector. That puts him up into 8th place. I wonder if these drivers are starting to get some heat in their tires now, Mike. I mean, I say heat does matter in these tires even around here because you still do have to brake for at least two times around the lap, which is, you know, not that many, but still, you've got to have heat in the tires for those corners. So I wonder if we're going to start seeing some green and purple sectors as this qualifying session goes on. We're about halfway through it right now, and we can see Case up there leading the way by only, like you said, though, he's only 1/17 thousandths of a second ahead of Kalen Mikowitz. But then you have to start looking down here to see Chris Wang right now, Inter 2, leading in Inter 2. So Chris is doing a great job here. Rafael Cardenas sitting in 2nd place. But again, look at the bottom side of your screen there, and we will continue to look for some purple sectors in the chat. Edgar Alvarez says Posada solid lap, and we've got Luca Marinoni in here again saying it's Paborgi Day. It's always Paborgi Day. It's a Paborgi party in the chat, Mike, every week.
I don't really want to know if I want to know that answer to the question I have in my head right now, but we will move on and progress along. But as you said, these cars do definitely take probably about 3 good laps to get the good warmth in those tires and get that good grip and be able to really feel those rear tires as you're coming around and apex in these turns. But Stephen Case is definitely leading the way right now. Kalen Mikowitz in second. Tyrone.
Ooh, speaking of Paborgi.
Little Paborgi sandwich
Yeah.
coming around here.
That sounds like a good, honestly, that sounds like a good, hey, Mike, you want to go into the deli business together? We can, our first sandwich can be the Paborgi sandwich. It sounds good.
I don't know what's going to be on it. And I'll have you know, Adam, I am an extremely picky eater, so I may not be the good person to do the menu for any of this. So I'll leave that to you.
All right, well, we'll figure that out. But right now, we are still riding along with Paborgi here. Watching him, you can see actually something I didn't think about, Mike, because these are so aero dependent. Even though they're only F4s, when I say only, they are still Formula cars. They're very aero dependent. We've seen a bunch of cars washing out behind the leaders of these packs because of that dirty air. It's not something I thought we'd see here.
Yeah, no, they are definitely a handful when you get into the dirty air, and kind of like what Ron was saying the last two broadcasts that we have, that these wings are just like planks of plywood hung out there. There's really no aerodynamics to them. It's just a surface for the air to kind of go over and to kind of stick the car down just a little bit better. And such small tires on these things too, so it's definitely is. These things are a handful, and when you've got a track that is super right-hand turn dependent, you really got to watch those left-hand side tires and watch the temperatures, because they could come up during your race, and during the end of the race, you could start falling off. But we see Jason Cotcher there with a purple sector 2, and that's going to put him up into the 5th spot for Jason, up to a 111.2. So good to see him rising up towards the top of the track, top of the board now. And we are about 10 minutes in, so we're closing in on 5 minutes to go. And the one perk to having an open qualifying session is just sheer chaos all around the track at the same time, Adam.
Yeah, it is. I mean, especially around Thruxton, where you're full throttle for 80% of the lap. If you have to lift for a car that's sitting in the middle of the track, that's really, really going to hurt your lap times. And we're seeing that, I think, by a lot of these drivers having to slow down for the drivers in the middle of the track. And I do want to mention something real quick here. Yes, this league does not run with damage. They do that to try to get drivers, interested in iRacing. And but it's still a good league. You can see that these drivers try to practice great racecraft, even though damage is off. And you can see that by the way they're trying to avoid instead of drive through the people on the track, Mike.
Well, and what's also
up into P2.
What's also interesting about the SRG is probably a good third of the league is actually in a brick and mortar store racing the league inside of Sim Racers Group in Northern California.
Yeah,
it's one of the coolest features about this league is a good chunk of these guys are actually in the same place and doing this all together. Super neat idea, super awesome job, and I applaud Jason Cotcher for getting this all organized. It looks like a lot of fun to do, and the next time I'm in NorCal, I will definitely try to get a hold of Jason and go check out his location.
Well, Mike, the next time you're in NorCal, why don't I be in NorCal as well? I think it's about the same amount of time to drive, from both of our locations. Why don't we meet up at SRG? Honestly, I just came up with an idea. There you go. We can broadcast their league from SRG.
We'll put it on Stevie's tab.
Done.
Just let him know that you and I have a road trip.
Stevie Ray, if you're listening to this broadcast, we're going to need at least a rental car or two and maybe some food while we're there. We're going to have to take Jason out, wine and dine him a little bit in San Jose. So yeah, Stevie, just, whenever you get the chance, man, just, go ahead and foot that bill for us. But anyways, we are back here to the qualifying. Again, we have a little bit of time left, and it looks like Rafael Cardenas has gone purple. Now, was that going to move him up at all? No, because he was yellow in 3 sectors. Looking here, it looks like people are running yellow in the first 2 sectors, but right now we're watching Varun Bali. And Varun, I don't know who that is. That is the number 55, but Varun is trying to get by the 55 to get past him, but at the same time, I don't know if he wants to. He may be trying to hold out. Nope, he is not wanting to get in that slipstream. Varun trying to make the move there in qualifying.
Yeah, trying to get by Paul Mirkic that time, trying to get that good draft in that long section. see if he can actually gain any time, but he is yellow in first, second, and third sectors. So nobody's really making any moves right now as we're less than 3 minutes left in qualifying. Um, the top cars right now, you still got Stephen Case in 1, Varun Bali in 2, Kalen Mikowitz in 3, Danush Paborji, your boy, up into the 4th spot, and Joshua Corwin rounding out your top 5 right now. So good battle up in top right now. And as you look at the scoring, if we go even go back down to the 6th spot with Tyrone De Silva, your top 6 cars are only separated by less than what, 2/10 of a second right now.
Yeah.
Super tight field, and then you got another 2/10 back to the rest of the field. But your top 6 super close on the board right now. Christopher Wang going purple in that first sector. We talked about other guys not being able to do that, but he was able to get there. Not able to improve his time, still sitting in that 10th spot. So a little bit of dicing going on right now with 2 minutes left in that open qualifying. Still plenty of time for these guys to get by, as it's just, a minute and 10, minute 11 to get around on this lap. But we do have 3 different classes of drivers out here. We got Inter 1, which is those orange tiles on the left-hand side of our board. The blue tiles is our Inter 2, so our little more advanced drivers. And our Inter Alien. I think they should change the Alien to purple. But the red one is your Inter Alien class. Stephen Case out there on his own, doing his thing right now. But, I mean, Varun is really close to Steven right now in qualifying. So, Adam, we'll have to see if he can able to put those laps down into the racing format, or how's that going to work out when we get going.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. Again, now only 13 thousandths of a second off. So Varun still trying to put in some flyers here. We'll see when he comes across in the bottom of the screen, see exactly what he's doing right now. Oh my goodness, speaking of Christopher Wang, look who has just pipped Stephen Case with about 45 seconds to go, Mike.
There we go. Christopher Wang taking over the top spot right now. So we're going to have to see if Stephen Case has anything left in him with 45 seconds left to go. As you can see on our track map right now, Stephen Case is the 243, so he's about halfway around the track at that midpoint right now. So we don't see him on the bottom tile yet until he gets closer to that finish line, but he might run out of time to get by for one more lap. So this could possibly... Nope, here's the chicane right here. So he's able to get by for one more lap with 5 seconds to go.
Yeah,
there it is, 10-4. So he's able to get by with a 10-4 that time and take back that pole. But still, amazing lap from Chris Wang to get up into that second spot.
Oh, okay, Chris. That's one way to end qualifying.
That's it. That's the rage quit right there.
Mm-hmm. It is, but yeah, so it's looking like right now, we'll see, again, at the bottom side of your screen, I don't see anybody going any quicker right now, so I would assume this is probably where people are going to finish. Mike, I'm going to turn it over to you for 1 second. I turned around, and my dog has decided to destroy a pillow that should not be getting destroyed, and I don't want to hear from my wife.
Varun Bali with a green sector 1 and 2 coming around right now. See if he can actually improve. Varun sitting in that 3rd spot, trying to get through, has a spinning car in front of him, comes through and across the line, and not able to improve with 11.4 that time by, 10.4. He is able to take over the pole on that last sector. So Varun Bali now taking over the pole. Stephen Case is relegated to that 2nd spot. So, wow, there's a lot of crazy chaos going on there at the end of qualifying. We've got a couple cars still trying to come around and finish. Rafael Cardenas coming down the straightaway, ends up slipping into pit lane. Got a couple other cars still trying to make their way down and trying to improve their laps, as we see Barney waving that checkered flag right now to signal the end of open qualifying. 3 more cars coming around right now. Alex Velasco in the 777. Sitting in the 4th spot right now. My fellow Californians, I appreciate you guys running, but time has expired on these guys. So that is it. We are going to get the grid set, and we do remember that this is a pretty quick start for these guys. So we'll go through the grid here real quick. We got Varun Bali taking the pole with a 110.469. Stephen Case qualifying in that second spot will be on the outside of the front row. Second row will be Christopher Wang and Alex Velasco. Third row will be Kalen Makowitz and Danush Podborji. In the fourth row is Joshua Corwin, Tyrone De Silva on his outside. Row 5 will be Jason Cotcher with Rafael Cardenas next to him. Then you got in the 11th spot Jose Navas and Igor Grunsky sitting on that outside. The next row after him.
I'm trying, Mike. Stand by.
Let's see. We are a little stuck on that.
We are because I am trying to figure out. Well, you know what? We're not going to even cover the bottom 20 or the bottom 10 because I don't know how to get to it right now, Mike. And we looks like are gridded up, pretty close to gridded up. So I will figure out how to do that through my overlays instead of my Stream Deck, which, by the way, guys, in case you didn't know, computer problems. You know, we all have them every now and then. I did a hard reset on my computer, and I haven't downloaded my software for my Stream Deck yet. So trying to do this the old-fashioned way with the good old mouse, and sometimes it just doesn't quite work out.
Starting 13th is Aaron Wagner, Van Wagner, Thomas Brush here in the 14th spot, Ryan Chi in 15th, Diego Posada 16th, 17th is going to be Saraba Vase in the 18th spot is Dalcaron Dillon, Adam Duvall in 19th, Rudy Samido in 20th, Ken Glasser 21st, Paul Murkic on the 22nd, Neil Day 23rd, and Briette Hyde 24th, and Renee Kunzerma in the 25th spot as we are getting everybody gridded up. Standing start for these guys. It's the not so front straightaway when it's getting a little banked. So we're getting them ready, and revs are coming up, and it lights out. And here we are racing at Thruxton. As you see, Stephen Case leading them down. Varun Bali on that inside line right now, holding his own. Here comes Case around that inside of turn number 2 to take over the lead. So Stephen Case now jumping on the inside with that black and orange 243, but Varun Bali is not giving up any space. That red, white, and blue car in the second spot. Christopher Wang able to hang on to that third spot as you got a whole kind of sort of melee of everybody in the back here, but a pretty good clean start from these guys, Adam. And then that kind of straightaway leads to some kind of crazy starts with these guys when it's kind of curved and not true straight to get going.
Yeah, great start by everybody here. And, you know, now that we've said something, Mike, we've probably just almost jinxed it there. Was that Rafael Cardenas off the track there? It may not have been. No, that was the driver behind him. That was Tyrone De Silva off the track, but everybody able to hold on to it. So far, everyone's doing just fine.
We'll be back up front with Stephen Case. Here comes Varun Bali with a good draft coming into that last section, coming down Brooklands and into Club.
Oh, no, who is that?
Oh, that's Wang.
That is Christopher Wang off the track, Mike.
And off the track and with probably a huge slowdown. Not sure what kind of slowdown is going to give him for that, but dropping him all the way down to about the 14th spot. So 3rd to 14th, just because you missed that second break point on the track. So tough break for Chris as everybody kind of getting settled in right now. This is a 20-minute race. One kind of cool thing about this is there is no damage on these. So when these guys do get tangled up and they rip a wheel off, you just wait a second or so, it resets and you get you going again. But these guys do a great job. It is an intermediate league, so everybody's still kind of learning. The lower I rating guys are just still kind of learning how to get things going, but these guys do race door handle to door handle, if these F4s have door handles, but are doing a great job and get going. So you see a little bit Karun Dillon in the 15th spot right now, trying to make a move on, was that Serban Vase, and
yep.
Coming up on the inside of them is Ken Glasser too. Good battle, three-way battle. Ken with that 41 car looking on the inside, coming into that last section of Club, and it's that second break point, that chicane just before start finish line. Ken able to get a good run on him and hold off and king onto that 15th spot. But
yeah, Ken,
go ahead.
Yeah, Ken's doing a great job there. He took 2 for 1 there. Obviously, it looks like Dillon got a little bit off track, had to slow up Vase just a little bit, and he did it. But looks like Stephen Case, I went back up. I knew this was going to be a battle. Varun Bali's not letting Stephen Case go. Stephen Case off into the grass, but holding on to P1.
Yeah, this is great battle up front. Varun really definitely holding his own right now with Stephen Case still tucked in behind that rear wing, trying to get a little bit of draft as on any of these kind of not so straightaways, and just waiting for that break zone to try to get on that inside and get by. But not too far behind him is Alex Velasco in that third spot. So Alex holding pace with them as we go on board with Varun coming into that last braking zone, coming into the club section. Cut those curbs nice and tight on both sides, but try not to upset the car too much. Down the front straightaway right now, we got Varun Bali in that second spot, tucked in behind Stephen Case. Both your leaders with an 11.5 that time by. Alex with an 11 flat, so closing that gap on those guys where he's just about a half second back. So your top three really close right now. Varun tucked into that second spot, but Alex Velasco trying to work his way up and sitting in that third spot. Then you got a little bit of a gap back to your guy, Adam, that Danush Paborji hanging out in that fourth spot in the
Hey,
0-2-3.
listen, Mike, listen. It's not my guy. It's the YouTube chat's guy. You should see what's happening right now in the YouTube chat. I cannot repeat what has been said in the YouTube chat, but there have been some interesting things said in the YouTube chat, and I'm here for it. But yes, the Danush Paborji clan, the Danush Paborji fan club, as well as the Diego Posada fan club here tonight. We can go to Diego real quick, and that was not a good time to go to Diego, Mike.
The commentator curse strikes again. Diego Posada off the track just as we come to him, getting tangled up. Let's go back and see what happened. It looks like about a six-way battle here as they're coming in to here. Oh, a couple cars get tangled up, and it was just in the way at the time. So Diego was just kind of a casualty of war right there with a couple other cars. So Diego dropping back into that 19th spot. Maybe he needs to change his stay with the car number 44, but change it to a red car. Maybe he'll be a little
stop
better.
Stop it, Mike, stop.
So back out in front, Stephen Case out in front. Bali's still hanging on that second spot. Case opening up to about a half second now on Varun Bali. And then Danush Paborji still hanging on to that fourth spot. I think we should work, since we have the YouTube chat up, we can ask for the menu for a Paborji sandwich to see what suggestions everybody has for that.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, Mike.
I just did.
Well, you've already asked it, so I will try to repeat what has been said if I can on air. But we'll see what they want to say about the new Paborji sandwich that we're called. And who was that? Corey. We're not going to call it that. I'll tell you that.
Well, we got 14 minutes to figure this out before the end of the race. So just past 6 minutes down, 20-minute long race. Stephen Case still out in front, hanging on to about that half-second advantage on Varun Bali. Alex Velasco in second. Danush Paborji is in fourth. Back in the fifth spot, we've got Tyrone De Silva hanging on to that fifth spot right now. Kind of got a little bit of a gap between everybody in front of him and behind him. And then right behind him is Jason Cotcher, our admin for the SRG League, but he's got a full rear view mirror full of Rafael Cardenas. Rafael in the 92, getting a good draft right behind Jason, trying to get a slingshot as they come into the next section here. Can't quite get the deal, but Rafael's got a whole rear view mirror full of Callum Mikowicz in that yellow and blue 888. Kellen going on the inside, trying to make a pass coming into that club section at the end, at that hairpin section. And Kellen able to work his way up into the 7th spot, putting Rafael back into 8th. Then in the 9th spot, we got the 04 of Jose Navas. Kind of, again, in no man's land. Got a gap of about 3 seconds between him in front and back. So just trying to keep it going. In the 10th spot, we've got Thomas Bashir in the 01. In the 11th spot, Chris Wang had a couple early problems, able to kind of recover a little bit, back up in the 11th spot. In 12th spot, we've got Kalaruk Dillon. Sorry if I butchered that one up, but in the 24, riding in that 12th spot. And 13th, Ken Glasser. We saw Ken making a couple good moves earlier. He's worked his way up into the 13th spot now. So Ken making some moves and getting
up 8 positions.
Yeah, great run so far from Ken. And then right behind him is Adam Duvall in the Lucky 13 car. Needs to make it green, so it might be counteractive to the car number and in the numbers, but we'll see how that works. In the 15th spot, 15th, we got Aaron Van Wagner in the 06, trying to close in on Adam, about a half second behind him. In the 16th spot, we've got Embriette Hyde in the number 93, and she's got a whole rearview mirror full of
We're going to stay
so
on this one for just a
about
second here.
Vase trying to make a move on that inside line. Again, we see a lot of guys get tucked in behind rear wings, getting a draft, and they come into this braking zone into club, Adam, and he's able to make a good move coming into the front straightaway.
He is, yes. That was a great move, actually, but nothing bad to be said about Embriette either. She is up 7 positions from the start of this race, so doing a great job. A driver that hasn't been doing so well, Mike, is a driver right behind her. That's Joshua Corwin, down 11 positions from the start.
Yeah, it's been a tough start for him and just sliding back. Haven't seen a whole lot of Joshua so far. He's trying to make a move on Embriette to try to gain one of those spots back, but Joshua hanging out in that 18th spot. And then we can go back to the 19th spot as we watch a little bit more of Joshua going around the outside, but able to gain that spot on Embriette. So Josh up into 17th, Embriette into 18th. 19th spot is your commentator's curse, Diego Posada in the 44. A little bit of a gap back to him. And then behind him is Neil Day in car number 11, sitting around in that 20th spot. In 21st, about a half second behind, is Ryan Chia. And then in the 22nd spot, we've got Rudy Samadua in the 34 car. And in the 23rd spot, 03, we got Igor Gru. Right behind, as we see Rudy kind of drip away, Paul Mirkek in the 24th spot, dropped down 2 spots from qualifying, and then we're back out on top. So Stephen Case still leading us around, Adam. He's starting to stretch out just a little bit on Varun Baldi. So, but it looks like a good battle back there in 3rd and 4th. Danush and Alex could be going at it here. We'll have to see what that looks like here, Adam.
Yeah, we can go on back there. You're killing me. I'm trying to do something here, Mike, but we are back to this battle between 3rd and 4th, and it looks like Danush is very much under pressure from Alex Velasco. So much under pressure that they almost touch going through club, Mike.
Yeah, Danush is hanging on to that 3rd spot. Alex Velasco in 4th. The battle of the white and black cars. 3rd and 4th, nose to tail. We're just past the halfway point, closing in on 11 minutes down. 9 minutes still left to go. So great battle, sitting for that final podium position. Alex Velasco looking for a place to get by. He goes on that high, doing a real tight line there with Danush going a little higher. So they're trying to switch back and forth. And Danush still hanging on to that 3rd spot. Alex still tucked in 4th. So this is where we see a lot of guys just kind of settle in, get tucked in behind that rear wing, try to get a little bit of a draft and make it around Village, Church, and Brooklands and try to make a run coming into club. But here comes Alex on that inside, down on the inside of Danush Paborji. Drag race down this section here, and they're going to be coming into that club section here shortly through Brooklands right now. Danush hanging on to that 3rd spot. Alex on his inside is going to be able to outbreak him or not. Looks like Danush able to pull away just a bit as they come into that last section. Danush Paborji still hanging on to that 3rd spot. Alex Velasco in 4th. So we've got 8 minutes still left on the clock. So about another 7 or 8 laps with these guys around. You still have Stephen Case out in front, Varun Baldi in 2nd, Danush and Alex battling it out here for 3rd and 4th. Then you got quite a bit of a gap back to Tyrone Da Silva in the 5th spot. Tyrone about 5 seconds behind this battle, but we'll kind of stay here. This is our closest battle on the track right now for that 3rd and 4th spot. Danush Paborji, the world famous YouTube extraordinaire, in the 3rd spot. Hold on to that final transfer, that final podium position. Alex Velasco still trying to get through here. Not sure if my production guy is back in the booth yet or not, but
I'm here. I have totally, as you can see, the logos have disappeared from everywhere. So I'm trying to get those logos back real quick, Mike.
All good. All good. We are focused on the closest battle right now as Alex tucked into the high back wing, going around the outside of Danush Paborji, coming into the club section. Danush able to hang on to the inside and get a little stronger on braking. Paborji able to hang on to that third spot and open up just a tiny little bit on Alex. As I see a couple cars coming in and out of the pits right now. Not sure if that was what they were coming into pits for, if they were low on fuel, not sure, but some of those guys, those back marker cars coming in out of the pits. But we are still focused on that third and fourth spot battle.
Not anymore. I'm back. We're here.
Okay. Now we're going to look at Rafael Cardenas in the seventh spot. Tucked in behind are the one and only Jason Cotcher, our admin for the SRG League here. And then we switch it over again. Good job,
we're looking at Joshua Corwin here. He is actually right on the back of Ken Glaser. Ken has done quite a bit of work to get up into 13th place, up 8 positions from the start here, but it looks like Corwin has finally found some pace. Obviously, down 7 may have had an issue, but he is now sitting right on the tailbone of Glaser, and so is Kukaran Dillon right on the back of Aaron Van Wagner. So we got 2 battles going on here, and Jason Cotcher and Rafael Cardenas. Of course, the second I switch away from them, they switch positions.
Yeah, so Rafael taking over that 6th spot, Jason dropping back to 7th. So good battle all around the track right now, but that close battle is still that 4-way battle. Here comes Joshua Corwin working his way back up. He already got by Ken Glaser, trying to get by. Man, good tight pass on the inside there from Joshua Corwin. He is, earlier we saw him, he was down in about the 20th spot. He's worked his way back up into 12th right now. So good run from Joshua as we go on board with him, trying to close into the back wing area of Aaron Van Wagner in the 06. Trying to find a place to get by, trying to do that high-low move, kind of get a little run through these chicane area here as they come around that half side of the track.
That may have got him.
That could be it. A little bit of a wiggle from Aaron. That's going to give Joshua a chance to run up on him, give him a good draft, and they're coming around that last section right now as we dump back to Adam Duvall in the 15th spot.
Yeah, fighting.
Ken Glaser. Yeah, good battle right now, Adam.
Yeah, it is. Looks like Sarab wants to get involved in this as well. Ken was going for, I'm so messed up right now. Ken was going for the move, Sarab was going for the move, and he absolutely lost all of that momentum, and now all of a sudden under fire from Adam Duvall. So there's all kinds of stuff going on right now. And back up here to Joshua Corwin, it looks like he has gotten around Aaron Van Wagner, but now he's got 4.5 seconds to get up to the back of Novice.
Yeah, but Joshua's done a great job to get his way back up at least into the 12th spot. As we're starting to run out of time right now, just under 4 minutes still left to go. Closest battle right now is for Van Wagner and Dillon. As we
look out, though.
Here we go. Look at this. Varun Bali tucked in behind Stephen Case. Varun go around the outside. What a move right now coming into the club section. They are side by side coming through there. Stephen Case able to hang on to the spot with Varun Bali.
Well, that was a good move, though, by Varun. He may have gotten a pretty good exit there. He's going to tuck back in and try this again. He's going to try it again already. I thought he was going to wait till Campbell. No, he tried to go early. He's thinking about sticking a nose in there, Mike.
Man, he is all over him. He dropped back to about a second back, so he must have just kind of let the tires cool down a little bit, get settled in as we see some smoke there with somebody off the track. But we'll stick with this top battle right here. Your top 2 cars going at it. Not sure if Stephen Case had a problem on a lap or so and dropped back, or if Varun was just kind of laying back and just got going again. But he is tucked in behind your leader now with less than 3 minutes to go. So these guys got about 2.5 laps still left. And we go see Thomas Brash here with a rough crash right there coming off that last section. But as you see, we have no damage on these cars, so they go back to being fixed as Varun tucked on the backside of him, Adam, as they come around the outside.
He's going to try it around the outside of club again. He did this once before and it didn't work. We'll see if it'll work this time. He's going to try the over-under this time. He let Steven drive it in a little deeper there. He's going to have to find a different way to get around Stephen Case. Stephen Case has the inside of club very well defended.
Yeah, both of these guys are doing a good battle right now. We've got 2 minutes left to go, so these guys are going to have about 2 laps left. We'll have to see what the timing looks like when they come by next time by to see if they're able to get another lap by. But top 2 cars still going at it as the Varun Bali's hanging on to that second spot, trying to get a good draft from Stephen Case as they're coming around that back half side of the track right now. Bali's trying to reel him in. As you can see him just tucked in behind that wing, trying to cut the track as hard as he can. Getting a good run on him right now, Adam, as he's looking into that last section. Can he get on the inside this time by, Adam, as they come into club?
We're about to find out. He's going to have to do something, and Steven already goes defensive. Steven knows he just has to be defensive going into club. Bali again around the outside. Can he get it done this time? He's got a little bit more than an axle ahead of Stephen Case. It's just... it ain't working for Varun. Varun's gonna have to do something, and we're looking for the white flag here now, Mike, and it is white flag. Here we go.
Here we go. White flag for your top 2 cars. Stephen Case leading them around. Varun Bali in the second spot. He's going to have to make a move sooner than later. That seems to be the thing. Stephen Case knows where to be. He is a very smart racer. He knows where to put that car to block. Varun Bali with a crazy battle on him as we're coming around back halfway around the track right now. Your top 2 cars separated by less than a quarter of a second. Varun Bali still trying to reel him in, tucked in behind that wing. He's trying to get a good draft. He's trying to position himself on that inside line if he's able to do it. But Stephen Case drops down on that inside. He blocks that move right now. Varun looking for that inside line again. Can't quite stick the deal as they're coming into that last section. Stephen Case leading him around, able to pull away from Varun Bali. One more braking zone coming into the club section. Stephen Case starting to pull away by 4/10 right now. Varun trying to do a hero move, but can't quite stick it. Here they come through the chicane one last time. And Stephen Case going to come down the front straightaway and taking the checkered flag here at Thruxton in round number 5. Varun Bali with an amazing run in second. As we got other guys coming across the line right now, with Alex Velasco finishing in 4th, Tyrone Da Silva in 5th, dropping back to 5th, but we are up to the 14th spot right now, Adam. Good battle coming into the last section.
It is another battle going here into club. What is Sarab going to do? He's going to have to get around Aaron Van Wagner. Is Sarab going to go inside, outside? Where is he going to go here, Mike? It looks like he's trying to dummy him. He does go to the inside. Is Van Wagner going to give him that spot? No, Sarab's not close enough to get to him in club.
Good battle for those guys with Sarab going to finish back in that 14th spot. Everybody else coming around. And it looks like we got another close battle with Hyde and Posada.
Oh, that was close.
Oh, wow, hard under braking, locks it up. Has to concede back into that 18th spot. And I've got a few more cars still making their way around. But Adam, that was a great finish there at the end with Steven and Varun going at it.
It was lap after lap after lap. Luca says, we don't need the podium. We have Danush. Yeah, Danush did have his issues in that race, as we can see here. We're going to go to the results right now. And speaking of Danush, we'll get to him eventually. He's down there in 5th. Obviously had a couple issues there. Some off tracks really put him out. But Stephen Case, your winner in the Inter-Alien League. And Mike, I'm going to put you in the hot seat real quick. You mentioned something at the beginning of this broadcast, and you mentioned Steven's I rating. Now you can see why he is in the Inter-Alien class.
No, absolutely. He did a masterful job. And like I said, watching that run, he knew where to put the car. He knew where to block Varun. But great battle. Varun did a fantastic job to take the win in Inter 2 class. Alex Velasco coming home in 2nd in Inter 2. Tyrone Da Silva will come home 4th overall and 3rd in Inter 2 class. And then the world famous Danush Paborji coming home 5th overall. Jason Cotcher finishing 6th overall. And then in the Inter 1 class, taking the win, Rafael Cardenas in the 92 car, taking that win with a 10-second advantage over Christopher Wang. Wang having that early problem coming into the club section, going to relegate him back a little bit farther, but was able to come home in at eighth, finished second in Inter 1. And then Jose Navas finishing in the ninth spot overall and finishing third in that Inter 1 class. So that was a good battle all around with everybody. That was this class, this race, this 20-minute format, Adam, is just nonstop action the whole time.
It really is. Yeah, it's unbelievable action, to say the least. But obviously, Joshua Corwin, a guy that we're going to interview soon, I believe, in 11th with Cucaron Dillon in 12th, Sarab Vase in 13th with Adam Duvall coming home 14th, Ken Glaser 15th, Embriette Hyde, another lady that we're going to interview here very shortly, coming home in 16th, Diego Posada in 17th with Rodolfo Samudo coming home in 18th. And to round out your grid, Paul M., Neil Day, Igor Grunsky, Thomas Brashear, Ryan Chia, and Renee Kundersma, who did not have the greatest race of all time, maybe a lap, and then decided to call it. But it looks like we may have a few drivers here to interview, Mike. So who do you want first, buddy?
We'll pull in first. I'll pull in Joshua Corwin. So Joshua Corwin gets pulled up into the announcer's booth here. Josh, former Inter 2 champion, currently the Inter 1 leader, and we saw, Josh, that you were back quite a ways during about halfway through the race, and you had to kind of work your way back through the field. What happened during your race?
Uh-oh. Joshua.
Josh, you there?
You there, Josh? All right, we're going to try this again. Who else do you want, Mike?
All right, we'll pull Josh back into the interview waiting room, and I think we'll pull in your interview. This is one that you get to do, sir. So I will pass off Embriette Hyde to you, Mr. Adam Thompson.
Sounds good. Embriette, you got us. Embriette, you are muted. I don't know if you're here or not. We are striking out right now for interviews, here, Mike.
I'm here.
She's here. Hey, we got her. Hello, Embriette.
Hello.
All right, so I do apologize. It sounds like I'm starting to have some issues here, maybe with the Discord audio, but we're going to get through this because we're close to the end. But Embriette, you were up 7 positions. What happened there in qualifying?
I just made a couple of mistakes, just tiny little things. There's nothing really other than that, really. I was trying, I put in a lot of practice laps earlier in the week because I was really nervous about this track, and I was about a second off what I was able to do earlier in the week. I just couldn't put it together, so I'm not quite sure what was going on. I tried to follow a couple people and see what they were doing differently, and some of the lines that they were taking that I tried worked for me and some didn't. So it was kind of just more of an exploration drive for me that I kind of continued in qualifying, which maybe wasn't the best way to go about it.
Well, I mean, I think it worked out okay in the race for you there. Obviously up 7 positions, Embriette, but I do want to bring something up here, and I love how Mike decided to let me interview you. For the past 2 weeks, Ron Mons and myself have may or may not mistaken your gender, and I apologize for that, Embriette, but I do have to say, you don't get used to very many women in sim racing or real racing in general, so it is really cool to see you on the sim rig, and I've heard I believe Jason Cotcher gave me a little bit of info that Jose, your husband, actually got you into this.
Yeah, so it was actually a date. He took me somewhere. He didn't tell me where we were going. I think it might have been for my birthday. And it was a surprise. So he didn't tell me where we were going. We showed up at Sim Racers group and we went in, and Jason was the only one there at the time and got us hooked up, and we drove the Miatas around Laguna Seca, which fortunately both of us had been on before for real, in our car and on our motorcycles. And we both just got hooked. And I think we raced a season and a half in-house. And then finally we decided we better just invest in our own rigs. So we've got 2 rigs. They're back to back, so our backs face each other while we're racing. And it's pretty cool. It's a fun thing to do together.
Well, that's pretty cool. Hi, Jose. by the way, I know you probably can't hear me because you probably have your headset on, Embriette. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, so I have a little fan club in North Carolina, James and Judd. They're the best fan club in the world, and they're going to be so stoked that I mentioned their names.
Awesome. Well, I believe I don't need to say anything else other than that. So, Embriette, thank you so much for the interview, and good luck next time out at Monza.
Thanks so much.
That was Embriette Hyde there, Mike, and it sounds like you may have someone now.
Yeah, we're going to give it another shot here and see if we can get in touch with Josh. Joshua Corwin, are you with us this time?
Uh-oh.
Still no star.
Okay, let's see here. We might have one.
I heard something.
Oh.
Josh, you there? No? All right, we may need to resume Josh next time by and see if Josh can get things going and sorted out for him. He might be having some technical issues, but Adam, I don't see anybody else that we can bring in.
We're going to try this, and I hope that this is the guy. I think it is. Is this Diego Posada?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me all right?
We got you, Diego. Yeah, just making sure here. We got to get your name changed here in Discord. But, Mike, here you go. There's Diego Posada for you.
Well, Diego, former Inter 2 champion, and running decent today.
That's a compliment right there that I don't deserve.
Let me just give you the one bit of advice. If you go back and watch the broadcast, you will see what we call the commentator's curse. Adam just happened to bring up your name, switched to you, and you proceeded to be in the wall with somebody else in the wreckage. So you can thank Adam for that wreck. But
no, it's all. Thank you, Adam.
You're welcome, Diego.
I shot myself in the foot a few more times after that. So the commentator's curse. Take a night off. You guys are good.
So you finished down 2 spots from your qualifying spot, but you were up a little bit higher. How did your race go? What kind of caused you to be back here a little bit farther?
I got into some trouble with some people that collided in front of me in the beginning of the race, and then after that, I just shot myself in the foot like 3 or 4 different times. So, still fun, but yeah, sloppy race for me for sure.
Yeah, but Adam definitely favored your car based on your car number and the coloring on your car to go with his favorite F1 driver. So kudos to you on that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm one of the people that comes in to Jason's shop, and I've always sat in the Mercedes seat, so it's just for better or worse.
There we go. I like it, Diego. I like it. You are now my favorite driver here in SRG, and you may or may not get more screen time.
Yeah, I've heard that some of the people I sent the streaming link to are in the chat shouting me out, so that's always good. To have a little fan base online.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, all right, I'm going to say it. There have been mentions of the DP club, because you've also got Danush Paborji. Between you and Danush, man, you guys have basically taken over the slow motion broadcasting YouTube chat. So I don't know who's got more fans, but there are quite a few for both of you guys.
I mean, him and I, we definitely have both great initials. He probably forwarded over the link because I'm always at work talking about how good or bad I did at this thing with my coworkers who are also into racing. So, yeah, glad that they're tuned in. I really appreciate you guys streaming the broadcast. Usually one would think that you do better when the streams are because you don't want to mess up, but I guess that's hasn't been the case for me this season.
Monza, I believe. How do you think you're gonna fare up there?
I think I'll do better than I did tonight. That's for sure. Because we've raced at Monza a few times. I've been coming to SRG for like a year and a half for these Wednesday leagues. We've done Monza before. A new track. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was just added a couple weeks back on the update. Correct?
Yeah,
the circuit.
Definitely a quirky little track.
Yeah,
so.
Sometimes, last season, when it was more competitive for me, I would try to come in on the weekends, maybe get a session in or something just for practice, but wasn't able to do that this weekend on the new circuit. But again, that's not why I messed up. I shot my...
More and good luck the rest of the season. While you're up here, you want to give any shout outs or thank anybody?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Jason for putting this whole thing together. How I got it here in the first place is one day I just Googled sim racing in San Jose, and I saw that Jason had just opened a few months earlier, and we came in, and we haven't stopped coming since. So shout out to Jason.
Awesome. Well, Diego, it's been a pleasure, and good racing today, and we look forward to seeing you the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to go rewatch this as soon as I get home. So, yeah, cheers.
Well, evidently we need to come up with a sandwich for you as well, because we're coming up with a Paborgi. Now we have to come up with a Posada, I guess.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's the DP sandwich at this point, yeah. Mike, and I'm not going any further than that. I'm going to leave it right there.
Sounds good to me.
Diego, good luck the rest of the season, buddy.
Cheers.
All right, that was Diego Posada there. Mike, I'm going to close us out because we are having some serious audio issues right now, and it's on my end through Discord. So I apologize, Mike, and I apologize to all the viewers for those interviews. That was not great. But anyways, with that being said, we do have some upcoming broadcasts here on the 18th of January. This weekend, we are not at Okayama for the Formula Vs. They are actually at Thruxton. So stay tuned for that. Should be a great race. I will not take part in that because somebody that will be taking part in that Formula V race, Jason Green, is going to be my driving partner along with Joshua Wilkie. Who else? We've got Simon Mayer and we've got Tyler Braun. We are doing the Daytona 24 this weekend, so that one should be streamed as well if I can get these computer issues figured out. So keep that one. That's going to be a 24-hour stream, guys, so you can tune in whenever you want and you get to see my pretty face. But on Sunday, we've got the Formula Fords. I don't know if I got any of these right. I believe they're at Olton Park and then again at Zolder for the Spec Racer Ford. Those were all Weekend Warriors races. Then coming up on Wednesday, we've got Group 1 of the Ray Esports Club League. We are going back to Group 1 in the Miatas and TCRs, and wouldn't you know it, they're at the Daytona Road. And then finally, to round out the week's worth of coverage we have here on Slow Motion Broadcasting, it's going to be SRG again, and they're going to be at Monza. So just in case you didn't get enough draft, you're going to have a little bit more here when we go to Monza in the F4s. But with that being said, I do want to give anybody a massive shout out and good luck to anybody participating in the Daytona 24 this weekend, the virtual Daytona 24, I should say, this weekend. But my name has been Adam Thompson, joined in the production or the commentary booth by Mike Braun. And until next time, everybody stay safe. And again, shout out to everybody down there in California. I know things are getting a little rough for you, Mike, down there in Southern Cali, but just everybody stay strong, and we'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.